One of your major points seems to have centred around the idea that you are powerless in the face of the government, and the government could not be changed. And I'd like to put it to you that, ask you the question of how do you explain why students, pretty much on their own, seem to have changed a vote that looked set to pass almost unanimously to a vote that passed with only 21 votes in government. Like, it didn't look like that was going to happen in July. It's only after the protest, after the immense pressure put on the government by students, that they changed their minds and that caused so many people in government to rebel, even Tories to rebel against their own party line, which is shocking. And I would like to put it to you, do you really not think that if the Vice-Chancellor in the UK had not pretty much supported the proposals in the letter that was sent, people with as much power as yourself, with as much influence and experience, had not advised the government against it, that no change would have happened? Is that really true? Yes.
One question.
Can I give an answer? Short answer is no, I don't think you changed the result very much at all. That's my view. You may disagree. I don't think the result was changed. And no, I don't think that if every Vice-Chancellor had been marching outside Parliament, the result would have been different. If it had been, it would have been worse because the government would have made additional cuts on us. They believe that we're getting a good deal.
Okay. Question, Brian?
Just a very quick question. Given that you're upset with the pace of changes, would you be willing to support industrial action to slow down?
No.
Okay.
This is a personal thing. I've never taken industrial action myself, and I would not support it.
Okay. Let's keep these brief. Yeah.
Brief question. In the light of these cuts, why? I'd just like an explanation of why we spent £800,000, nearly £1 million, on security cards, which don't seem to really be working.
As far as I'm aware, the security cards are working. We previously had cards, library cards. I'm sure those who are in the security team, Jerry, could answer it, but it's not. I will ensure that an answer is sent to you if you send me an email, but I don't think it's appropriate for me to try and answer it in this.
Okay. Question back, quickly.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether you have any views on, in the light of the protests and this occupation within the university, whether you have any views on whether you feel that consultation with the student body and the staff body is working, and ways in which that can be improved if you think it might need improvement.
I'm very happy to answer that. Firstly, the university consults regularly with the elected representatives of its students. Secondly, we have already taken action long before this to change the statutes of the university to ensure the university representatives from faculties are elected earlier and can be in place for the start of the year. That's already going through. Those are the elected representatives, and we work through them. We have responded to an invitation from the Students' Union President, and the Vice-Chancellor will speak on Wednesday and present to them. We have to work through those representatives because they are the elected ones.
Okay. Two last questions. Harry.
You kept making the point that if all the Vice-Chancellors in the country lobbied, for example, it wouldn't change anything with regards to the amount of the original cuts, the amount of state funding. But the fact that, and I think everyone knows in this room, that there is the money there that's wasted on things like Trident, on pointless wars, tax avoidance, tax evasion. And the point is, it's not whether if every Vice-Chancellor lobbied, it's the point is if everyone in this country turned around and said, no, this is ridiculous, then it would change things. You can't, I can't say, if everyone who's wearing red shoes demanded it, then it wouldn't do anything because then I'm not going to do anything. It makes no sense. But the point is, if everyone did lobby, then it would make a difference. That's why you should.
If I may say so as a tutor, your last conclusion does not follow. If I lobbied, it would change. I agree with you that if the vast opinion of public in this country was against the cut in higher education, and the same anger and clear view was taken as was taken with the poll tax, the government would have to reserve this policy. But I'm afraid I personally don't think there's a lot of Tory MPs thinking there that they've already given away a delay on Trident, they would want it back. There's a lot of people who would say they'd want the aircraft on the aircraft carriers rather than more money for students. There isn't that public backing. One thing that we did achieve as universities, after a lot of argument, was that we preserved the research funding for universities. Now, you may think that doesn't affect students, but I can tell you that that funding is critical to this institution, and that was the result of lobbying.
Okay, one last question from Gus.
You said that the university didn't lobby for higher fees. Now, our Vice-Chancellor's just been elected head of Universities UK, and this is what Universities UK said before the tuition fees vote. This ensures financial stability for our universities, and it means millions can plan our future, their futures. And so this Vice-Chancellor of the university has been lobbying for much higher fees.
If you go back to listen to what I said, this Vice-Chancellor and no Vice-Chancellor lobbied for the cuts in higher education in CSR. I said they did say that higher fees were the only way for the long-term protection of the income of the university, given that the state refuses to increase and has now cut its funding. There is a distinction.
But the fees allow the cut to happen. Because they lobbied for the fees, the government was able to have the cut. If they didn't lobby for the fees, there wouldn't have been any way to make the cut.
Okay.
I disagree.
We're going to end it there. We now have two speakers who each are going to speak for 15 minutes. We've got Dr. Alex Anisio, a senior lecturer in low temperature biogeochemistry, and we've got Harriet Bradley, a professor of sociology. Can I invite Alex to speak first? He's going to speak on the value of higher education. Thank you.
So I have never done this before, so